We're going to do lesson 91. I didn't have a chance to read any more of the text since the last video. I'm also not feeling my best, but I'm already committed to this, doing these videos, so I decided to hit record anyway. This might be a little bit harder for me, and I do have some noise outside. There's a truck idling, which is annoying me quite a lot, but I'll do my best. Lesson 91, Evils of the Slave Trade. Gentes quae Africam incolunt, quondam inter se saepa dimicabant, captique captivique anagotioribus empti, navibus in terras sunt transportati diversas, umi dominis novis tradidi summis laboribus aetatem in agris agebant. The people who lived in the continent of Africa, I think once, quondam, let me just double check on that one, quondam, I should know this word, I'm just not sharp today. At a certain time once, yes, that's what I thought. Sometimes also, okay. Would fight among each other. Dimicabant. Would often fight among one another. Captivique anagotoribus empti. So the prisoners were bought by, I suppose these were slave traders. Navibus in terras sunt transportati diversas. They were transported in ships to various lands. Umi dominis novis traditi summis laboribus aetatem in agris agebant, where they were handed over to new masters and led a life. I think this aetatem would be a life. I know vitam ago is I lead a life. Aetatem. Age. Probably lifetime. Yeah, their life. Or spend their life. Probably working in the fields with a great deal of toil. Gentes quae Africam incolunt, quondam inter se saepa dimicabant, captivique anagotoribus empti, navibus in terras sunt transportati diversas, umi dominus novis traditi summis laboribus aetatem in agris agebant. Dum autem navigant, condicio captivorum miserrima erat. Nam traditum est dominos, qui quaestum volebant, facere quam maximum neque aliud curabant, valetudini salutique servorum operam minimum dedisse. And while they were sailing, the conditions, I think this would be conditions. I'm going to double check even though I'm fairly confident that's it's correct. Just because I'm less confident today. Condition, condicio, nature, character, disposition, manner, situation, rank, place, condition. So it's a little bit different than what I thought it meant. We'll see what fits. Condition seems to work in the sentence. their circumstances or condition. Okay, we'll say condition. It seems to fit here. The condition of the prisoners was extremely miserable. Extremely bad, perhaps. For it is said that the masters, what's a quaestum? I'm not sure what a quaestum is. Is it stum or not quite sure. Quaestum. It's a really terrible idling sound outside. It's very distracting while you're doing Latin. But I'm going to keep going nonetheless. Gain, acquisition, profit. I think the first definition fits. Who wanted to make money, a profit, maximum, make as much money as possible, probably, nor did they care about anything else. Oh, the truck's gone, thank goodness. Valetudini salutique sorvorum operam minimum dedisse. So they gave very little attention to operam minimum. They did very little work, or made very little effort, perhaps. In regards to valetudini. The health, yes, that makes sense. The health, salutique. Saluti. Safety, probably, or the welfare. Health and welfare, or health. Let's say the health and the welfare of the servants. Dom autem navigant, condicio captivorum miserrima erat, nam traditum est dominos qui quaestum volebant facere quam maximum, neque aliud curabant, valetudini salutique servorum operam minimum dedisse. Qui igitor miseri in locis angustis foedisque, procul aluce caelique, spiritu saepe claudebantur. Who? Probably the servorum here. Let's say the slaves, therefore miserable in these narrow cells, perhaps, narrow spaces. Foedisque, is that something to do with unpleasantness, probably. Contract lead. Foedus covenant. Oh yes. Filthy. That makes more sense. So these narrow and filthy spaces, far from the light and the sky. Probably, maybe it's deep down in the ship. They were shut up caelicu spiritu, were often shut up, probably in these places. Caelique spiritu. In regards to their spirit, I'm not quite sure how the spiritu. Perhaps this will become clearer later. Spiritu. It's obviously ablative. The air. Okay, that would do it. I think air would make. Perhaps shut off. We're often shut off. Caelique. Far from the light and the air of the sky, probably. That would make more sense. Kaili is the genitive, so it modifies spiritu. Yes, I'm confident of that. That would make sense. Qui igitur miseri in locis angustis voidisque procur a luce caelique spiritu saepa claudebantur. Qui etiam inturdum ut naves complurimos portarent inter se vinculis iuncti supini dies noctesque iacere coacti sunt spatio minimo tantum relicto ubi pauci vice alterna se exercere possent quorum curciatus tempestate cohorta maximus erat tum enim foris omnibus clausis vix respirare poterant multique moriebantur. That sounds absolutely horrendous for the slaves, or the captives, I should say. Moreover, interdum I think is sometimes, I know we've encountered this before, I get it mixed up with words that look similar to interdum. Fairly sure it's sometimes, yeah, sometimes. In order that the ships, as many ships as possible, perhaps in order that so that the ships can carry as many of these people, perhaps, as possible, they were bound by chains among themselves. I think crowded together and bound by chains is the sense conveyed. Inter se, among themselves, so crowded together probably. That's how I understand it. Vinculis iuncti, bound with chains, tied together with chains among themselves. Supini, is that lying on your side, on one side? Supini. I know there's probably a better resource than Wiktionary, but I'm used to using Wiktionary. Lying down with face upwards, supine on one's back. That would make sense. Supine, perhaps, or lying on their backs. Lying on their backs, were forced to lie on their backs for days and nights, probably on end. With very little space left to them. Only a very little space left between them, perhaps. Spatio minimo, with minimal space. Relicto, left, only. Umi pauci vice alterna se exercere possent. While few vice alterna se exercere were able to exert themselves vice alterna. Good heavens. Vice alterna. I have a feeling that these go together, but I'm not sure how. I can look up the words individually next to each other. Let's set this kogoni. I don't think my Japanese is good enough at the moment. It does look familiar. Kogoni. Where's ego? Oh, I can't find ego. Oh, here we go. There we go. Ego. Alternately. Ah, okay. Is that Is it used anywhere else?